What's happening, everyone? How's it going? How's it going? Okay, so I'm on here a little bit early, as I like to do, to give people a chance to jump on here. Can somebody let me know that you can hear me? Give me a yes, Jesse, we can hear you. Just testing out. Everything should be good to go, but let me know. What's happening, Betsy Salzer? Maya, Ruru City, how's it going? Okay, Stephanie Madrigal, thank you. Thank you, guys. Fantastic. So my name's Jesse. You guys are on here under Painting with Jesse on Facebook and on YouTube. We're here early. We're not going to get started till right at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm out here in California. So that is about 6 minutes from now. Okay, so for now, though, we just want to say hello to whoever's on here. Fantastic. What's up, Sherry Hudson? How are you? Welcome to the page. What's happening, Denise Nablach? Gerardine Santiago says, yes, Jesse, we can hear you. Fantastic. All right, very cool. So anyhow, let's see, what do we got? We got 215 devices on already. That's pretty awesome. Let me see what do we got as far as followers. We're both, all right, we got some YouTubers on here also. Fantastic. So this is being broadcast to both Facebook and to YouTube simultaneously. This is, I believe, the third live session that we're going to be doing to both platforms. So hopefully everything goes okay. The other two times, the previous two times went without a glitch. The first time I had a little bit of problems. I don't think we're going to have any issues today. I think I figured everything out. So fantastic. I just want to welcome all of you that are here today. When you guys get a chance, please leave a comment, say hello, let me know who you're painting with, where you're painting from. I love to see all of the places that everybody joins me from. So if you guys would do that for me, that would be fantastic. So let's see. Courtney Baronet says, Isla, Annalise, 8 years old, and Annalise, say hello from Carleton Place, Ontario, Canada. Fantastic. Welcome to all of you. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Cape Town, South Africa. Wow. Juanita Duvenhage Jacobs from Cape Town, South Africa. Check it out. Pretty awesome. All the way out in South Africa, we're being viewed today. That's fantastic. We are kind of all over the place as far as where people come and hang out with us from. People from England, Germany, Canada, of course, the United States. So we've got a pretty wide audience out here. I know the time zones are all over the place for everyone. So some people, I think it's probably nighttime already for some people. So pretty awesome. It is almost 11 a.m. here in California. So wherever you guys are from, though, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining in today. Make sure you guys do not click on any of the links in the comments section. We have plenty of spammers that like to jump on and try to lure you away to different pages to try to get you to give them your credit card info, other personal stuff. Please do not click on any of those links that you see in the comment section. Very important. Happens every single time we do these. We get a bunch of spammers on here. So just be sure that you do not click on those links. Remember, the event happens right here on Painting with Jesse on Facebook and on Instagram. Okay. For those of you that are not able to paint today, right now, this video is being recorded and will be available for you to watch immediately after the live session is over. You'll find the video on YouTube or on Facebook. If you go on Facebook, under the live tab on the main Painting with Jesse page at the top, if you see, look at the very top, there's a live tab. You click on that. All of the previous videos that we've done here so far will be there. This one will be there as well. Okay. If you guys see anybody, that's the most common question you're going to see come up in the comment section. If you guys see that question come up, please help out and answer the question for me. I don't always see every single question. And if you guys could just let whoever's asking the questions, just let them know, yes, Jesse says the video will be available right after the live session's over. Okay. You guys can go back and watch it whenever you'd like. The nice thing about the recorded session is that you can pause it, you can back it up, you can jump ahead, etc. With the live session, you can't do that. Live session, you have to watch it as is. It's more fun. Live session's more fun. There's interaction, right? A bunch of people on at the same time. That's all pretty cool. But there is a benefit to doing the recorded session, and that's that you can pause it and back it up and all that other good stuff. So Pretty awesome. What's happening, Isabel Torres? How are you? Let's see. Michelle Steenberg says, my grandmother and I are here from Illinois. Awesome. Welcome to both of you. Welcome back. Martina Alive. How's it going, Martina? Let's see. Who else is on here? Happy birthday, Megan. So there's a Megan on here. Must have said it's her birthday. Happy birthday to you. And absolutely, if any of you are having a birthday out there, please put it in the comment section so we can all say happy birthday to you. All right. Let's scroll on down here. Got a bunch of comments already popping up. So fantastic. Eventually, folks, I'm going to have a little laptop stand where I can put it right up there and I can see all of your comments. Or I'm going to be doing this on a tablet where it's a lot bigger of a screen and I can see all your comments up there instead of having to look down here. Little by little, we're getting fancier here on Painting with Jesse. So I've made some changes for those of you that are return visitors, return painters. You guys recognize there's some differences now. I've got 2 cameras instead of 1, makes it a lot easier. I don't have to fumble with the cameras too much. I can do fancy things like this with this new software. So it's pretty dang cool. I'm still getting used to it. So yeah, a lot of new stuff. I've got a microphone. I don't have to yell as much and lose my voice as much as I used to. So lots of changes on the page. And yeah, little by little things are getting better. But I do eventually plan on having a laptop that's going to be sitting over there somewhere, and maybe a microphone that on an arm that I can adjust as needed, so I don't have to have a little mic on here. Little changes that are coming about on Painting with Jesse here. So, but anyway, it's 11 a.m. everybody, officially 11 a.m. Fantastic. We're going to get started here pretty quickly. My name is Jesse. You're all here on Painting with Jesse, either on Facebook or on YouTube. Okay. Really quickly, I want to repeat this. This video is being recorded. If you cannot paint right now, as soon as the live session's over, I hit the save button and it goes to live on YouTube and on Facebook. On Facebook, you'll find it under the live tab at the top of the Painting with Jesse page. And on YouTube, I believe it's the same thing. There's a little tab that says live videos. You click on that and that's where you'll be. Okay. So the way that it works here on Painting with Jesse, once we get going, and I'll talk about the supplies here in just a little bit, but once we get moving, what I like to do is I'll outline a step on my canvas, and then I give you guys a minute or 2, depending on how complicated that step is. I'll give you a little time to implement that step on your canvas or whatever it is that you're doing this on. Okay. In between steps, I like to look at the comments. I like to answer questions. I like to say hello. I like to give shout outs and all that good stuff. I'll let you know when I'm looking at those comment sections. Well, now you'll be able to tell because you'll see me on camera come up and look at the laptop. But that's how we do it on here. Let's talk about the supplies for today. Now, I'm going to be painting on a 16-inch, an 11 by 14-inch canvas, which is what you see right here on the screen with both canvases on there. The colors, I'm using acrylic paint. The colors that I'm going to be using are green, black, white. I have a dark blue that I'm going to be mixing with white to create a light blue for the background. I've got some pink and some orange. I have everything spread out on my plate here. You can barely see the black. It's kind of off to the side a little bit. But again, green, white, dark blue, pink, orange, and black. Those are the colors that I'll be using. Whatever colors you guys have, you guys can make it work. You guys can make whatever changes you'd like to the piece. And that, of course, includes changing up your colors. We'll talk a little more about that here in a little bit. Now, I provided you guys a picture with the brushes that I'll be using today. Now, I'm not using the exact same brushes from the picture. I've got some really similar brushes. I left those brushes at my house, but nothing fancy. They're all about the same brushes. As long as you've got something similar to this, you're going to be okay. So let me show you what those brushes look like. First off, I've got this large 1-inch flat brush that I'm going to be using to create that background. Okay, these are all synthetic bristle brushes, but that's what I'm going to be using to create that background. Okay, so that's that one. Next one up is a 1/2-inch flat brush. And when you look at the sizes, just in comparison to my hand, okay, it's not a really big brush. As long as you got something like that, you're good to go. And then we've got a flat number 6. Okay, I believe I listed a number 10 on the list of brushes. But again, as long as you got something similar to this, you're okay. And then I do have one more little round brush. This is a number 3 round. Okay, a little skinny pointy thing that we're going to be doing some detail work. Now on the list of brushes that I put up, I think I'd listed one extra brush. Again, as long as you've got something similar to these, you're okay. Don't stress out too much about the brushes. I like to put the details about the brushes up there because I know a lot of you want to get precisely the brushes that I use. Now, if you got the exact brushes that I listed under the comment section, you're perfectly all right. You're probably better off than I am, but I'm just, the brush selection isn't too important, okay? It is important, but it's not, you don't have to be exact on those brushes. Then the next thing that I've got is a water cup. Got a water cup where I put a little water in there in between steps. My brushes sit inside that water cup so that they don't dry out. Again, I'm working with acrylic paint. And if you're familiar with acrylic paint, you know that it dries very quickly. And you don't want that paint to dry on your brushes because it can damage the brushes. So in between steps, you want your paint brushes sitting in that water. Okay. I've got some paper towels here. Always good to have some extra paper towels because messes happen. I'm going to be drawing today with a pencil, just a basic number 2 pencil with an eraser. Okay, so make sure you guys have something to draw with, and you will be good to go. Now, the way that I'm going to work this, I'm going to actually do the background, the light blue background first before I draw over that. Okay, then I'll do the ground, the floor, right down here, the base where the pot sits on. I'll do that afterwards. Then we start to color in the cactus and the pot and everything else. So again, for this painting, I'm going to do the background first. Sometimes people will ask me, well, sometimes you draw first and then you do the background around it. Yes, that's a different way of doing it. The reason why I'm doing the background first is because I like to get a nice, smooth background for paintings like this. Okay, if we draw first and then paint around our drawing, it makes it a little bit harder to get a nice, clean, smooth background. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a little bit. Okay, but anyway, if you guys are all ready to go, I know I am. We are going to be painting for about an hour and 15 minutes. It is 11:05 and we are good to go. All right, looks like I see a birthday. Skyla Klabau says, it's my birthday. Happy birthday to you, Skyla. Everybody say happy birthday to Skyla. But all right, folks, here we go. Like I said, first thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be painting in the light blue background. Now I'm going to start this with my 1-inch flat brush. I've got a mixture of my paints right here. You can change your background color if you'd like, right? You don't have to stick with the same color that I'm going to be using. If you have a light blue, perfect. If not, you've got a dark blue like me. I'm going to grab a little bit of this dark blue and I'm going to bring it over to a different plate. So I do have an extra plate where I make my mixing. I mix my colors here. So I brought over a little bit of blue. I don't need a lot of blue because the blue, this dark blue is really strong. I don't need a whole lot of it. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a bunch of this white. I bring it over right next to my blue. I just put it right next to the blue on my plate, but there's a lot more white here. Now I'm going to mix the two together. Now I want a nice light blue. Okay, everyone's background is going to be a little different, so don't worry about how dark or how light it is. It's up to you, whatever you like. Now this color that I've got on the plate right now is a little bit darker than the original. I am going to add a little bit more white to it to make it a little bit lighter. I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not trying to create a perfect match to the original. But as long as I've got a nice light color in here, I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. I want to mix enough so I can do this in one session. In other words, I don't want to, not one session, but one coat. I don't want to have to remix some paint to try to match the original color. But there we go. I think we've got it. Okay, now, once you've got the color that you want, you're going to take your brush, flatten it out by pressing it down against the plate, just like that. And what I'm going to do somewhere down here towards the bottom, again, I've got an 11 by 14 inch canvas down here towards the bottom, about 3 inches up from the bottom. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. I'm just going to come across and I'm going to do this. Okay, nice and light. Okay. And then from there, I'm going to go up. Long vertical brush strokes, nice long smooth brush strokes, keeps everything nice and smooth. Okay. And I'll go from one side to the other. Doesn't really matter in which direction, whether you go left or right or left. If you start in the middle and go to the sides, the important thing is if you want a nice smooth background, that you do these long brush strokes. Now, some of you may have, especially those that got the stencil, you may have put your stencil on here first. You may have traced your little cactus on here first. That's okay. When you do your background, then paint around it, right? I'm assuming those of you that might have done it first probably already have a little bit of painting experience. So you know how to paint around it. Either way, even if you're new at this, just simply paint around your drawing. Whenever I draw first, I will outline my drawing first, and then I'll outline it in paint, and then I'll paint around it. Makes it a little easier. It keeps me from going over my lines. But all right. So here we go, all the way across. Once I'm done with the front, I don't know about you guys, and everybody does this a little differently, but I like to paint my edges to match. So what I'll do is I'll bring this light blue all over to the sides, left and right, and then over the top. I know some of you guys are doing this on paper. You might be doing it on canvas board. You might be doing it on wood. But if you're doing it on canvas, or if whatever you're using is thick like this, you can do this to your edges. But this is optional, right? You don't have to do this. Some people like to leave their edges white, and that works too. But all right, as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to get this step done. All right, we're going to place that there for a little bit. And my brush, now that I'm done with it, sits right in my water cup, right? All right, let me go ahead. I need to plug in. I'm using my phone over here to record with the front camera. I'm going to go ahead and plug in the power to it. I don't have any power going to it, and I don't want to run out of power part way through. All right, there we go. So take a couple of minutes on that, and then we're going to get going. Actually, I'm going to switch views on this now to give you, there we go, give you a better close-up of that. All right, everyone, so I'm looking at the comments over here. Hope you're all doing amazing today. Having a nice Saturday, day before Valentine's. Hope you guys are all planning something fun, nice. Maybe some of you guys are going to be hanging out at home. Maybe you guys aren't planning on doing anything special. You guys are just going to relax. And that's okay too, right? Anyhow, all right, guys. So this little, let me see. Here we go. Let me take a look at the comments here. Looks like we've got another birthday, Aisha Beg. Happy birthday to her. Happy birthday, Aisha. Excuse me. All right. Another birthday here too. Kirsten from Newfoundland. 9 years old. Happy birthday, Kirsten. 9-year-old Kirsten today. Everybody say happy birthday to her. And then we've got Zia, who's turning 7 tomorrow. Valentine's Day baby. Happy birthday to you, Zia. Very nice. Happy birthday, Nuna. Painting with granddaughters today, says Amy. Fantastic, Amy. Happy that you guys are all here. Thank you for hanging out with me today. So let's take about a minute, folks. Maybe another minute. And we will get moving to the next step. How do you guys like the new layout? For those of you that haven't seen this yet, well, those of you that are new, you haven't seen it yet because it's your first time painting with me, but I've got a nice New little layout with all these graphics and stuff. I'm kind of digging it. New software that I've been using these past few sessions. So I like it quite a bit. Okay. All right, folks. So it looks like some of you are done with the first step. Here we go. If you fall behind a little bit, folks, don't worry about it. Try to keep up. Remember that the video will be available immediately afterwards. So if you're too far behind, don't stress about it. You'll simply join in with the recorded session of this. All right, but here we go. Here's the next step. So I've got a pencil over here. What I'm going to do is this. Now, I understand that this is all still a little bit wet, okay? We can draw over our wet paint. If you have a blow dryer with you, you can use that to blow dry the background, okay, before you actually draw. I'm going to do that here really quickly. Give me 1 second while I reach over and grab that blow dryer. Give me a sec. Now, if you don't have a blow dryer, don't worry about it. Acrylic paint does dry pretty quickly. What I'm going to do in the next step is actually start drawing the pot. And if you don't have a blow dryer, you can draw over the acrylic paint, the wet paint, as long as you're careful. Okay? But all right, let me put that down. And here we go. So everyone can see that we've got the little pot here, the top of the pot. We're actually going to start with this right here. This actually looks like it's almost a square. Okay, slightly rounded edges on the bottom, and then the lip, the top here, is also has a slightly curved edge. We're going to start down here at the bottom. So somewhere in the middle, you're going to come across with your pencil. You're going to go like this, nice curved little line. Now I'm going to make my lines a little bit darker than I normally would. But those of you that are drawing with me, or if you're tracing this, make sure your pencil lines are nice and light. The reason why you want to have nice light pencil lines is you want to be able to erase them easily if you make any mistakes, right? If you want to change anything up. So light lines for you guys would use them, do little slightly lighter lines than what I've got there. Okay, so there's the bottom part of our pot. Okay, so we start with that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to draw this part right in here, the top part, right before the lip, right before the rim. So somewhere up in here, you don't want to go too high. Okay, somewhere up in here, we're going to draw another little curved line, slightly curved. And maybe it's just a little bit wider than this one, by a little bit. Now be careful if you're drawing over wet paint. If you make a mistake and you have to clean something up, you still have some of your blue paint that you can paint right over. Okay, but be careful. Once you've got the top part, you're going to come down on each side, connect your lines like this. And I want to emphasize that everyone's painting is going to be a little bit different. Okay, your pot may be a little bigger, maybe a little wider, taller, skinnier. It's all good. Okay, you don't have to try to recreate the exact same version of what I've got over here. Even between these two paintings that I'm making now, the second painting is going to be a little different perhaps than the original, and that's okay. All right, so take about 30 seconds and then we move on to the next step. So this right here, we're not doing this until after we do this top part. You'll see you'll see here in a little bit. This comes next. This comes after we've done our drawing. Okay, you'll see why here in a little bit. We can interchange steps. Okay, let's see here. Hey, Pamage, how's it going? How are you? Annabelle and Ella. Hi, Annabelle. Hi, Ella. Thank you for being here. Okay, so here we go, folks. Next little step. So what we're going to do now is we're going to draw this top part of our pot. Okay, the little rim. Now, what you're going to do now is you're going to come out a little bit on each side. Okay, just a little bit. You're just coming out just a touch. Okay. Once you come out a little bit, you're going to draw a little line that comes up, and there's nothing special about these lines. They're just pretty much straight. They go up a bit. Okay. Now let me darken mine a little so it's easier for you guys to see them. Remember, you want to make sure you're keeping some nice light lines. Let me give you a close-up. Okay, there's a little close-up of what I've got. Okay, what you're going to do now is from the top here, you're going to curve. You're going to have a little curved line that comes in on each side. Now, you're not going to come in all the way. You're going to stop about right here. Okay, about right there for now. Once we put in the little cactus and everything, we can close those. Okay, but just come in a little bit. This, of course, is this back here. Okay, this back part is what we put in right there. Okay, so again, come in a little bit and then stop. Once we put in our little cactus, we're going to go ahead and close that off. Now, what I want you to do next, before we continue with our actual drawing part, you're going to go ahead and fill in with blue. Whatever your background color is, you're going to fill this in, the pot. You'll see why here in a bit. Okay, so what you're going to do, okay, I'm going back to my original brush that I used. You're just going to take some of your background color. You're just going to fill this in. Now, the reason why I'm doing this, filling this in with this color, is because I want to have the same background color for the entire pot. Whatever color you're going to use over your pot, you want that all over the same background color, whether you're going to have a brown pot, a blue pot, or red pot, whatever color your pot's going to be, you want to lay that layer of paint over the same color background throughout. If we leave this blue and then this is white, when you put that layer of color for your pot, there's going to be a different shade between those two areas. And that, while it can be fixed, it can be pretty difficult to fix. You have to layer and layer and layer so that everything gets nice and even. We want to avoid that. We want to avoid struggling. So different approaches to painting, folks. Also, don't think that this is the only way to do it. Just want to show you guys on this page. I show you guys different ways, different approaches to different paintings. Okay, a lot of the approaches are interchangeable, etc., etc. But all right, give you guys about a minute on that. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Victoria Reed, greetings from Mississippi. Hello to you, Victoria. Let's see, Ella and Kaylee from Ohio, and it is Kaylee's 12th birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Kaylee. Pretty awesome. Lots of birthdays today. Let's see, Jesse Chen Azevedo says, please shout out to my daughter, Mia. She's 5 and loves your tutorials. Awesome, Mia. Hi, Mia. Welcome back. Glad you're here and happy that you like the tutorials on here. Let's see, Callie says from Calgary, Jessica and Callie. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Callie. Peggy, hello from Colorado. Hello to you, Peggy. All right, let's continue. So here we go. Here is the next little step. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to start with, we're going to draw in our little cactus. So before we do that, though, I want to take from here, these little corners up in here. Okay, you see the opening of your little pot down here. This opening somewhere over here. You're going to come in with a little line. Kind of follows the same curvature as this line here. This little line right here You have another line that follows that same curvature. Don't bring it all the way out to the edges. Okay, you'll see what we're doing here in a bit. Okay, you're going to do that like this. Bring it out close a little bit. Okay, this right here is this. Okay, and we're going to stop right there. We're not going to do anything else with that rim for now. Okay, but above that, right once you've got that line right above that, you're going to put down your the little base for your cactus. This part right here for the cactus. That's where that cactus sits. Now, those of you that are using a stencil, I don't know how much detail you are tracing onto your canvas or paper or whatever it is that you're doing this on. I know some of you get really detailed and you actually trace everything out. The eyes, the mouth, everything. But if you just did the outside trace, then you want to be make sure that you guys are paying attention to when I start doing the stuff on the inside, because of course that's what you implement, right? You implement that part of it when you're starting to fill in the inside of your cactus. So okay, so here's the base for my little cactus. That again is this part right in here, the green part, where it's going to be going into the dirt. Now from there, I'm going to come outwards. Okay, and I'm going to stop about right here. Actually, you know what? About right there is good. Just come out a little bit. Those are eventually going to be the sides of your cactus. Okay. Now, before you continue with the actual cactus itself, I want you to come up to the top over here. You don't want to go too high. If you're going to be putting in this little flower here, you want to leave some room up there. So over here in the middle section somewhere near the top, I put a little dot. That there is this little point right here. So that little dot is that guy right there. So from there, I made my two little curves that pop up and over. Now I know you guys can see that I'm going around this line right here. So as you start to make this line, just kind of watch what it's looking like, and you decide whether these little lines right here can connect or not. Just depends on how big or how small your cactus is going to be. Okay, kind of like that. If you didn't use these, we're going to be painting over that anyway. Don't worry about that too much. We're going to cover that up with paint. If you can, go in there and erase them a little bit if you didn't use them. Okay, something like that. Now, I can already tell this cactus right here is quite a bit bigger than that one, but I've still got enough room up here to put in my little flower. So I like that shit. I like it. I'm good with that. If I didn't like it, I would erase it and bring it down a little bit, right? That's why we're doing light lines so that we can erase. And let me make an adjustment to my light over here. It's a little over to the side. Whoop, 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 whoop. We're still connected. While you guys work on that, let me make some, there we go, some adjustments to my setup. Just bringing this light a little bit closer. All right. So you guys get a couple of minutes on that. And like I said, it's really obvious. This one's quite a bit bigger. That's perfectly fine, as long as I leave enough space up on top. And who knows, maybe some of you don't want to include a little flower up there, right? It's up to you guys. Again, everything on here is interchangeable. It's optional. You can customize your piece however you want, okay? So I want to make sure you guys understand that. I'm just here guiding you along. You're recreating something similar to the original, but you can make yours however you want. All right, Lily, Lucy, Isabella, and Amelia from Calgary. Hello, how's it going, everyone over there in Calgary? Let's see. What else do we got? I'm going to come up a little bit. What's happening, Adriana? What's happening? How are you? You're on the live, Adriana. Fantastic. Matt Burkott. How's it going, Matt? Who else do we got? Lucas from Quebec. How's it going, Lucas? How are you? Lots of people from Canada on here today, as there usually are. Pretty awesome. What's up, Donna Baker? Welcome back. Hopefully you guys are are all enjoying this today. I know I am. I always have fun doing these tutorials. What's happening, Abby, age 5? All right, folks, let's continue. We've got a few little steps here left on the drawing, not too much more. Okay, so we're not going to do anything with the little flower. The little flower comes in. Actually, no, we are. Never mind. We are going to do that now. I'm just going to do a little base right here, like a little stub that comes out off the top. Little rectangle. I'll give you guys a little close-up. Actually, let me do it now. So there's the top where the little flower is going to pop out of. Once you've got that, you're just going to come up, do these little pointy things like this. Okay, something like that. And that's pretty much all you need to do for that flower. Nothing too fancy. Some of you are going to have a different type of flower up there, different colors, etc. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in some eyes on our little cactus. Okay, just a couple of round eyeballs on mine. Yours don't have to be round. They could be more oval. They could be different shaped eyes. They can also be different colored eyes, okay? So there's my eyes, pretty basic, nice and easy. I'm going to come down here, put in the mouth, okay? And then my little cheeks, little rosy cheeks over here, okay? Last thing we're going to go ahead and two things we're going to draw. I'm going to give you guys a minute. So in a moment, we're going to go ahead and draw the rest of the inside of the pot. This little line that comes around the sides, okay? And then we're going to draw on our little heart, and we're good to go. Melissa Bohannon King, hello from New York. Hello to you, Melissa. Summer and Abby from Newfoundland. How's it going over there, Abby and Summer? Heather Harris, how's it going? Daisy and Isabella, how's it going, Daisy and Isabella? And let's see, Ansley, painting with mom. Let's see, Nicole Norsworthy from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Abby from Pennsylvania. What's happening, Abby? Happy birthday, Skyla. Awesome. All right, folks, here we go. Let me give you a quick close-up of what I've got, right? So we did the eyes, we did the little rosy cheeks, we did the mouth, and then the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to close off the inside of the cactus. So this little line here comes around, slightly hides behind our cactus. So back here like this, and then we close off our little edges. Okay, we want to make sure we close those off. Okay. Now, for those of you that are going to be doing a heart, we can go ahead and put that in now. Okay, so a little heart, right? So here's the middle of our pot. You guys, I think, all know how to make a heart. Kind of like what we did with the little cactus. We do one side, come over to the other side. And there we go. Now you guys see this extra little pencil line in there? Now I can erase it, or I can paint over it. I am going to go ahead and erase it. And that is it for the drawing part of this. I'm going to give you guys a minute to finish up, and then we're going to go ahead and put in the floor, start painting the inside, start painting the pot, and everything else that we need to put on the inside, okay? 1 minute. Let me put these together here. All right. And don't forget, folks, we got quite a few events on Painting with Jesse. For those of you that are new here, every week I try to have at least 2 events. Okay, at least 2 events per week. I typically have 3. Next week's a little slow. I've been doing lots of changes, lots of planning, implementing new things. So it's been keeping me busy, and I have not been creating as much as I usually do. But pretty soon here, you're going to see me posting some new events that we've got going on here. But I currently do have, on the event page, we have at least 2 more events coming up. Okay, you'll have to go over to the events page to check them out, but there are 2 more events that are currently scheduled. I am planning on adding more to February. So if you're new here, please make sure you follow the page, like the page so you get notifications on all of that stuff. Okay, but for those of you, again, that are new here, I do have at least 2 videos a week Next week is not going to, it's probably not going to be, maybe no videos next week. We'll see. But anyhow, I normally have 2 videos a week at least, and sometimes 3. Okay. Again, for those of you that are new here and did not know. But all right, folks, let's go. Let's go ahead and continue painting here. What I'm going to do first is this. I'm going to take my 1/2-inch brush. Okay. I've got some pink on here. Now this pink that is on my plate isn't as bright as this one, but I'm going to go ahead and use this. Okay. Just going to come in here. I'm using my 1/2-inch flat brush. I'm going to come through here. I'm using the skinny part of my brush. Just painting around the edge of my pot. Then we're going to go across. Now what I'll do is this. Now here I paint using long horizontal brush strokes. I do have some of that fluorescent pink. It's kind of a neon pink. But if we have a little time at the end, I will use some paint over the top of this, but it's not necessary. You guys have something like that, cool. If not, that's okay. Again, use whatever you've got, and I'm sure plenty of you are going to be changing up the colors anyway. Maybe some of you are going to be painting a yellow floor, a brown floor, black floor. This could be a table. It could be a dresser. Or it could be the pot could be sitting on top of a table, a dresser. So the color on here could be whatever color you want. It's your painting. Use your imagination and have fun. Once I've painted the front here, I'm going to go ahead and do my edges just like I did the top. So I'm just painting pink here on each side. Come over to the other side and I do the same thing. Now I'm going to ask you guys to send me pictures of your paintings like I always do. Okay, so if you guys could send me pictures of your masterpieces to my messenger here on Painting with Jesse. Okay, that way tomorrow at some point I will be sharing, all of you that send me your pictures, I'll be sharing those in a giant post on my Facebook page. Okay, but yes, if you guys could send those over to me via messenger on Painting with Jesse, that would be fantastic. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this brush and I put it right in my cup. You guys have about a minute to finish that up, and then we're moving on. Hi, Lisa Polly. Let's see, who else do we have on here? What's happening, Jessica Torres? Jamie Scalise from Minnesota. How's it going, Jamie? Trolls. Somebody's asking for trolls. Absolutely. We'll be doing some trolls in the future. We did some gnomes yesterday. Was it yesterday? Or the day before yesterday? I lose track of time here. I think it was the day before yesterday. We did some trolls. What's today? Saturday. So some gnomes. I'm sorry, gnomes. On Thursday, I think we did the gnomes. But anyhow, if you guys missed that, the gnome session, and I have the painting right here. Let me grab it. I'm going to show you. This is for those of you that missed out on this. We did this really awesome gnome painting. Actually, I'll put it over on this one. A couple of days ago, I showed you how to draw. I show you how to draw everything from scratch. Okay. I do provide some stencils for those of you that would like to use one. You'll find this video under the live tab on the main Painting with Jesse page, and on both here on Facebook and on YouTube. Okay. So if you guys are interested, maybe tomorrow be a good day since it is Valentine's. Some of you maybe want to jump on there and you know, make some gnomes, but trolls are coming. I'm gonna make some trolls here pretty soon. But all right, next step, same brush. I'm gonna use the same brush I just used a moment ago. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up. Want to get rid of that pink. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and paint the pot. Okay, so just cleaning up my brush a little bit. I'm going to dip my brush right into the orange paint here. And again, everyone can paint their pot whatever color they want. First thing I like to do, and I'm using the skinny part of my brush, I'm holding the brush back from near the back of the handle. Nothing too fancy or intricate. Just nice and loose back here. And then I do the outside of the bottom part of my pot first. I'm also going to come in here and go around the heart. Now, if you made your heart really small, and you might want to switch over to a smaller brush, makes it easier to go around, especially little areas like the little point right there. If you use too big of a brush, you might accidentally cover your little peak here at the top. The little depression, the little inside of the heart, right? So here we go. Once I've got all these areas outlined, I go ahead and take my brush and using these long up and down strokes, vertical strokes, I just paint all the way through. Now, if we had not painted that blue background in, we would have two shades of paint. The area that has the blue in it, right wherever we stopped, right here would look this color, and then down here it would be a brighter orange. So that's why I had you guys paint with that blue all the way inside the pot. And don't forget, if you're falling behind, do not stress. You'll simply, whenever we're done with the video, if you're not done, you're just going to go over to the recorded session, continue with that. So if you miss any part of it, do your best to keep up, but it isn't crucial. There we go. Nice and easy. Nothing to it. Okay. Now I am going to go ahead and continue with this top part. Now for the top part, I'm going to go ahead and take my brush using the skinny part of my brush. I'm going to go ahead across like this. There we go. Now I'm going to switch brushes. I'm going to go ahead and put this back into my cup, my water cup. And I'm going to reach over and grab my little flat number 6, because there's these little smaller, skinnier parts at the top of the pot. I want to switch to a smaller brush. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to come in here and paint right in there. Just like that. If you're new to acrylic painting, you'll realize here pretty quickly that it is a bit transparent. On the first layer, you're not always going to get a nice even finish. So don't sit there worried about that too much. Put your layer down and then move on. It's going to look blotchy. It's going to look uneven in color. That's okay, especially on the very first layer of paint. If you need to, if you want to make it more even and brighter, etc., you'll come back and do a second layer of paint over whatever area you want to stand out more, or whatever area you want to even out, okay? But on the first layer, that's not going to happen. So put your layer down and move on. So you guys got 1 minute and we're moving on. Leprechaun jumping in a gold puddle, says Lisa Polly. Oh, I like that idea. We are going to be doing some St. Patrick's Day themed paintings. So we are going to be doing something like that. Some leprechauns in our future for those of you that are going to be hanging out. Dr. Seuss, says Lisa Thomas. Dr. Seuss, we've done I think the Grinch. We did the Grinch painting. And let me grab that. We did a Grinch painting for Christmas. Give me 1 second. But we definitely have some more Dr. Seuss stuff coming up. Let me grab that really quick so I can show you guys. If I can move my microphone off my collar. There we go. Give me 1 sec. So during Christmas, we did this one, okay? for Grinchmas. We did that. This video is also available under that live tab. And it's also on YouTube. If you guys want to go check that out. Teach you how to draw that completely from scratch. There's also a stencil that I provide for those of you that don't want to draw it. For any stencils that you need, you'll want to email me at paintingwithjesse paintingwithjesse@gmail.com. So anyhow, but more Grinch, more Dr. Seuss paintings coming in the near future. But all right, let's continue over here. Next step. So I'm going to use the same brush that I was just using, the large brush, the 1/2-inch flat brush. Okay, this guy right here. So I take it, it's sitting in my water cup right now. I swirl it around a little like this. Okay, clean it up. I use a paper towel to wipe off any of the extra paint. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and paint the inside of my little cactus. So I scoop up some of this green. And just like I did earlier, that's too much green. I've grabbed a little too much. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I paint the edges. So come around like this. Come down. Okay, over to the other side and I do the same thing. And I'm not sure if you guys are noticing, but I'm going right over my pencil lines. Right, I paint right over those pencil lines. I want to get rid of the pencil lines. Come down here. Another way to draw these in is with chalk. It's actually my preferred way to draw. It's easy to erase. When I'm doing a painting, I often like to draw with chalk. In this case, I would have used a dark piece of chalk against that light background. Okay, so I outlined the eyes. I'm outlining the cheeks, little cheeks down here. Okay, now I'm going to paint over the mouth like this. I can still see it coming through the paint. Later on, I'm going to outline that in black. So right here, once I'm inside, once I've outlined everything, I just come through here. Now for this part of it, I'm going to go ahead and paint, use brush strokes that go in different directions. Okay, like this. Earlier we did the smooth brush strokes for the bottom, for the background. For the inside of the cactus, I'm just going to do this. Painting in different directions. And I can still barely see the mouth there. If you cover up your mouth and you can't see it, it's okay. You'll just be painting over the top of that. And again, everyone, all your paintings are going to look a little different. Okay? Don't sit there stressing, trying to recreate the exact version of my painting. And oops, looks like I grabbed a little bit of black with my brush. So I'm just going to clean this up a little. Not sure if you guys can tell, but I got some black on here. Real tiny little tiny bit of black. Just from using my brush. I'm actually using my brush, clean my brush, and I go over the area that I have that darker color and I remove it. It's real subtle, hard to see, but it's there. Now I can come back over and paint over all of that. So nice and easy. Nothing super fancy about this. I know for those of you that are newer to painting, you might be going, easy for you to say, Jesse, but with practice, with a little bit of experience, you'll get more comfortable with it. So my suggestion is keep on painting. Come back and paint with me. Okay. Now here at the top with a little flower, the little base for the flower. I'm going to go ahead and cover that. And that is it for the green part of my little cactus. Now again, don't worry about it, folks, too much if your paint is a little transparent. Put your layer of paint down, same as what I was talking about when we're painting down here the pot. If you need to, let this all dry first, and then you can come back and do another layer over it if you need it. I'm not going to need another layer. If there's time, I may come over with my little bit of a fluorescent green that I've got, and I might cover over the top of that. but I'm not worried about it. Okay. I'm not too concerned about needing a second layer. This actually looks pretty good for me. But you guys got about a minute and a half, and then we're going to continue with the little heart and the dirt. Okay. All right. I'm looking over at the comments section. Folks, really quickly, I just want to let you know, for those of you that are interested in helping support the page, one of the ways you guys can help out, and it's greatly appreciated, is that you share the page with your friends whenever you post your pictures to your social media. If you could copy me, I'm on Instagram under Painting with Jesse. Of course, I'm on YouTube, Painting with Jesse, Facebook, Painting with Jesse, and here pretty soon, I'm also going to be going to TikTok and LinkedIn and who knows where else. Okay, so, but currently Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, when you guys post to your social media, if you guys could copy the page, that would be fantastic. Invite your friends. It just helps the channel to grow, so I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And then another way, some of you guys, let's see here. Let me come on over to the banners. Some of you guys have helped the page quite a bit by donating to the virtual tip jar. I do have a virtual tip jar. All the information is listed there at the bottom on the screen. I've also included this information under the details for the video. If you were to scroll up or down, I'm not sure where they put it, depending on the platform that you're on. It'll give you all the details to the virtual tip jar. I've got a Venmo, PayPal, and a Zelle. For now, those are the only methods that I have that I'm using. PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, and on PayPal and Venmo, it's paintingwithjesse@gmail.com, paintingwithjesse@gmail.com. On both of those, you'll see a picture of me on top if you have the right account. On Zelle, it's just my phone number, 951-217-2237. Again, for those of you that are interested in helping to support the channel, it would be greatly appreciated, and a big shout out and thank you to all of you that have been helping and supporting the channel by using that virtual tip jar. But anyway, that's the information for those of you that would be interested in helping out with the page. Okay. Also, of course, don't forget to like and follow. That's also another way to help. But I'll be leaving that up there for just a little bit. Okay. So 30 seconds, everyone. 30 seconds, and we move on to the next step. You guys are noticing there are some differences between my two paintings. Some of the colors of paint that I'm using are a little different from the new one than on the original. But that's all part of how this works. I'm not too concerned about recreating the exact version of the original. I'm here to help you guys guide you. I'm here to help you guide you in recreating something similar. But whatever changes you wish to make, please feel free to do so. Okay? But all right, let's get back to those comments. See what else we've got. All right, puppy, somebody says. Let's do a puppy. All right, maybe we're going to do a puppy. Pot of gold, it says Christy Jenkins Spence. Katie from Cleveland, Ohio, enjoying our Valentine's Day. Hi, Katie. Hi, Katie. Happy that you're enjoying your Valentine's Day. Fantastic. Lisa Polly says, I really enjoy this. Awesome, Lisa. Okay, and then there's Jamie asking about Venmo for gratuity. There you go. There you go, Jamie. Answer the question. But all right, let's go ahead and move on here. What we're going to do next, I am switching brushes. My little tiny liner brush, little small pointy thing, this guy right here. Okay, I'm going to do little Rosy Cheeks really quickly. Just going to grab some pink. I'm going to come in here and paint those areas in. Whoops, I accidentally dipped it into the blue. Let's get rid of that blue. Accidents are going to happen. It's all part of painting. Okay. Now you notice I'm painting on an easel, so my canvas is sitting upright. I take my finger, I place it right on the canvas, and that helps support my finger. Now my hand is stable, and it makes it easier for me to paint within my lines. So I can also make the little cheeks a little larger if I want, just like I did that one. It was a little on the smaller side. So again, I just find an area that's already dry, put my pinky down, and makes it a little easier to paint. Now the other thing is, don't know if you noticed, but I grabbed the brush a little closer to the tip. This also gives me a little more control, as opposed to earlier when I was holding the brush by the back of the handle. That's a lot a much looser way to paint by holding it back here. This is a lot of fun. I like doing this sometimes when I'm drawing stuff and painting. This is a lot of fun. It's nice and loose. I'm not too worried about it. But when I need to get nice and tight, I grab the brush closer to the tip and then get in there, put my finger down on the canvas, or sometimes I lay my hand right down and it helps stabilize my hand. Okay. What I'm going to do now, just going to take some of that pink. I don't need to wash the brush or dip it into the water. I'm just removing that pink paint. And I just noticed I didn't put out any red paint onto my plate. So let me grab that. Can't have any can't have any red hearts, excuse me, without red paint. So let me grab a little bit of red paint. Just going to pour that out onto my plate here. Oops, that's enough right there. Now, switching, actually, I'm just going to grab my little brush here. You can use a slightly bigger brush for this. It's a larger area, but for my outlining, using this nice little skinny brush. Okay. And then I might as well just use this one to fill the rest of it in. The smaller the area, the smaller the brush. Okay, just like that. Okay, take a moment, maybe a minute to get that in there. I'm cleaning up my brush in the water because I'm going to be using it for the black, for the eyes, and then the eyes, the mouth, and the thorns on our little cactus. And then we're going to go and do a little flower up there. Now, the little flower, you can use whatever color you'd like on it. Maybe I'll switch mine to yellow. Who knows? We'll see. Let's see. What else do we got, everybody? Lots of people are asking for a puppy. A puppy is coming very soon. We've done lots of really cool paintings on here under Painting with Jesse. I've probably done about over 70 videos now. About half of them are kid-centric. We've done SpongeBob, a narwhal. We've done Bob the Minion. We've done a rocket ship. We've done Jack Skellington. We've done giraffes. We've done Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. All of those videos are available for you guys to go check out. They're living under the live tab here on the main Painting with Jesse page. So when you guys are all done, if you guys want to go check out that library, go to the main Painting with Jesse page, go to the top, click on that live button, and you're going to see all the videos. They're waiting for you guys to go check those out and paint along with those. The other half are more adult-centric. There's a lot more detail to those, more steps involved. They're longer, etc. But they are all open to everyone. Okay. On YouTube, I don't have all the videos up yet. I'm probably about halfway adding videos slowly. I've only recently began to simultaneously broadcast to both. But going forward, that is the plan, that I'll be doing these on both Facebook and on YouTube. All right. But okay, guys, here we go. Next step. Let's grab our little brush. I'm going to dip it into some black paint. Okay. Don't need a lot of paint for this, but I'm going to come in here. Paint the inside of our eyes. Okay, there, and then over here. Okay, just like that. Now, if you want to make your eyes larger, you can, right? If I wanted to make them larger, I would just keep working on the circles around the edges or outlining the circle and slowly increasing them. You don't want to go too quickly or too large too fast. You want to slowly increase the size on those eyes until you're happy with them. And come over here to the mouth. There's my little mouth, basically a U, the letter U. Now, the little thorns. When I do the little thorns, I'm going to take my brush, my little round liner brush, round number 3 brush, and I just roll it in the paint, just like this. When I roll it in the paint, I press the brush down on the plate, just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and so these little thorns in here, they're just, some of them are 3 little lines, some of them are 2 little lines like that one. Some of them are single little lines. Actually, I don't have any single ones, but I could put little single ones in there. And then of course I used the same process to create some of the eyelashes on each eye. So, but up in here, for example, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay. Over here, 1, 2, 3. Wherever you feel like you need some thorns on your little cactus, it's up to you. There's 2 little lines there. Okay, maybe 2 little lines over here. Maybe there's only 1 right there. Okay, let's see over here. 2 and 3. So let me give you a close-up on those. Okay, so there's a little close-up of that stuff. Okay, let's see here. Right over here. 1, 2, and 3. As many as you want, wherever you want. Throw some little thorns in there. It's your cactus, and it can be as spiny as you want it to be. And I'm going to give this one another one. Now, when I do the ones over the eyes, here in the center, I got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 in the center. And then on the sides, I've got 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, on either side, 1, 2, and then 1, 2. Take a little step back, look at your cactus from a distance. Makes it easier to see everything. And allows you to make corrections. It's easier to see where you need to make corrections or where you need to add stuff. So a little step back, look at it from a distance. Maybe right in here. Okay, sure, why not? Another one's right there. All right, so work on that for a little bit. See what else we got. A birthday cake, says Angela Winslow. We can do a birthday cake, Angela. Maybe we'll do a birthday cake maybe next month. We'll see. I'm sure lots of you would like to learn how to draw a birthday cake. You can give them to your friends on their birthdays. Might be a cool little idea. Let's see. Katie Ruff says, my son wants Legends of Zelda Link, older version. He said, search OOT Link, OOT Link. Thank you for these awesome tutorials. You're very welcome, Katie. My pleasure. My pleasure, but I like the idea. I actually like that. That's a pretty good little idea. Ballerinas. Let's see. Snoopy and Charlie Brown. So I do have a couple of Charlie Brown and Snoopy. We have one Charlie Brown and Snoopy painting. It was the Charlie Brown Christmas. Okay, it's on my wall, on that wall on that side. Charlie Brown Christmas, that's both Charlie Brown and Snoopy. And then behind me, right behind me, I've got the Charlie Brown, it's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. I am going to try to throw in a Charlie Brown and Snoopy painting this month. So be on the lookout for that, okay? Another Charlie Brown and Snoopy, or another Peanuts painting this month. All right, everyone, let's continue here. So I'm still working with the black. Taking a little bit of black, I bring it over to my mix plate. Okay, a little bit of black, don't need a lot. Now I'm going to grab some orange. I'm going to mix the two together. I'm basically making, it's almost going to look like a brown color. Almost. So orange and some black. It's mostly black. What I'm going to do with this color, all in here, this empty space underneath our cactus, I'm actually going to switch to a bigger brush for this step. Switching over to my number 6 flat brush. Okay, grab some paint. So again, black and some orange. There we go. I got to get used to, I got to remember that I've got a mic on me. I'm used to talking pretty loudly because the camera's either, over there or it's over to the side a little bit. And I might be blowing some of your eardrums out. I just realized that. So because the mic now is right under my chin. But anyhow, there we go. So there's that color. Okay, a little black, a little bit of orange. Again, the little potting soil underneath or dirt or whatever you want yours to be. Once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and color in. If you did a little flower, go ahead and color that in. I was thinking of doing mine yellow, but I think I'm going to stick with my pink. It's Valentine's. I could also do a red one. But you know what? Let's go red. What the heck? Same little brush I was using. Remember, when you're done with the brush, it should sit inside your water cup. Don't forget, if you have some brushes sitting on your table or wherever you're painting and it has wet paint on it, make sure you put them into your water cup. Very important so you can preserve your brushes for a long time. Scooping up some red here. Gonna come over here and sometimes I like to clap. And now that the mic is right here, I got to be conscious that some of you guys, maybe have your volume turned up a little bit, and I'm blowing out your eardrums. All right. So this could be pink, could be red, it could be yellow. Let me take a little step back here. Actually, no. Since we're working with this red, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this red and down here underneath our pot, create a little shadow. Just kind of right underneath the pot. Just a little bit. Kind of like that. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little step back. I got to look at my cactus from a distance. Make sure that I didn't miss anything. I do need to add a little reflections in the eyes here in just a moment. But other than that, I think we have everything. And what time do we got? It's 12:05. Maybe I will add some fluorescent paint to mine. We'll see here in just a moment. All right. What else do we got, guys? Lori Nelson says sloths. We did a sloth last week. I'd have to go over to my other room to grab my little sloth, but we do have a little tutorial on a little sloth. I call him Molasses. Okay, Molasses the sloth, about 2 weeks ago. So if you guys want to go check that out, go look under the live tab on the main painting with Jesse page and you'll find it there. I think I also uploaded it to YouTube. Actually, give me a second. Let me see if I can grab that. So here's our little sloth that we did last week. I believe it was last week. Okay, there's that little sloth. Okay, and again, that tutorial is available for those of you that want to go check that out. Okay, you guys already know how to go look for this. But I did provide a stencil for that. But I do teach you how to draw that completely from scratch. So no need for the stencil. I'd like you guys to challenge yourselves, especially if you think you're not good at drawing. I think I do some pretty simple steps. I outline the steps pretty easily. And I think for the most part, if you pay close attention, you will be okay if you attempt the drawings freehand. Okay, that little sloth was pretty basic, but a lot of fun to do. Okay. Riley and Reese are loving making this cactus come alive. Awesome, Riley. Awesome, Reese. Welcome and thank you for being here. So, next step, I'm going to take my little skinny brush, right? I clean it up a little bit. I swirl it around in my water cup. Now I'm going to take some white. Okay. And I'm just going to come right over here. Right somewhere in the middle of the eyes. Maybe towards the top a little bit. We got those little reflections in the eyes now. My little cactus looks super happy. Now, an idea for some of you that might want to try this. If you do another little flower on the other side, it looks like your little cactus has braids or a little ponytail, not braids, but ponytails. Okay, so if you do a little flower over on this side, your little cactus would look like it's got a couple little ponytails coming out. So just an idea for those of you that may want to try that. I'm going to grab a couple of my fluorescent colors, maybe some fluorescent green and some fluorescent pink. And I'm going to come over and put a little layer over the top. Then we're going to sign our masterpieces and we are almost done. All right, so I got a little bit of neon green and neon pink. I'm going to use that and paint. You guys see this mess that I got with this microphone, this new microphone that I'm using? Got to change the type of microphone that I'm using. But for now, this is actually working out pretty nicely. Ooh. So a little bit of fluorescent pink. All right. And then a little bit of fluorescent green. Okay, let's put these over to the side. So these two brands of paint that I often use, this is Artist Loft paint. Okay. They come in these large bottles. I buy them at Michael's. It's an artist. The Artist Loft is a Michael's brand, from what I understand. But those are pretty cheap. They come in those neon colors. Those are the only neon colors that I've seen in that brand with that size, in those sizes. But they come in white, blue, green, all these other the regular colors. They're about $9.99 a bottle. If you get them on sale, but sometimes we'll find them for half off, especially if you use a coupon. So I'm going to take some of this green, my half-inch brush here, and I'm just going to take some of this and paint. Now, because this is kind of transparent paint, I can paint over some of the thorns that I've got in here. And it doesn't make that much of a difference. This is more of a finishing color. You layer it over another, a regular acrylic paint color. So this regular green that we did down there, not neon, you layer that first and then you come over the top with something like this. This is a lot more transparent, but it adds a really nice finish. Just go around everything. Just gonna go around my mouth. Gonna paint around the little cheekbones, or cheeks, rosy cheeks. Right over here. Okay. Now I'm going to take the same brush, grab another paper towel here. Same brush, I'm going to clean it up, swirl it around in my cup. Okay. Now I grab some of this pink. Now I can use this. I can put some on my heart if I want. I can come up here to my flower. I'm not going to put it on the heart. I want my heart to be as red as can be. There we go. And then if I wanted to, and I don't think I will for this one, I could also add some of this down in here on the floor. But what I am going to do is this. I'm going to take, by now my heart is dry. The red heart on that pot is dry. I'm going to take another layer of red because I want it to stand out a little bit more. Now watch this for those of you that are new painters. This is all a little bit transparent, a little bit blotchy. Once I add this second layer, everything changes. Becomes a lot less blotchy. The color pops more. Now I can do this 3 times. I can do this 4 times. The more you do this, the more you layer, the brighter the color becomes. And the more solid, the more even everything becomes. Okay, so that's how you would do that to everything. Anything that's blotchy, anything that's uneven, you would do a second or third coats if you feel that they're necessary. Okay, the very last thing I'm going to do is this. Actually, second to last thing. I'm going to take some green. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of black, touch of black. Don't need much for this. I'm just going to darken up this color a little. Okay, so it's making a dark green in here. Down here at the base of my little cactus, right where it goes into the dirt, there's a little bit of a shadow. Add a little bit in here like this, give my cactus a little bit of dimension. Again, a little bit of black and a little green, and we're good. Okay. Now, I would also come in and paint the bottom here underneath. I would paint that. And then, so in other words, I would paint this pink, right? Since I painted my edges, I leave that last. I didn't do it earlier, because if I would have done it earlier when I painted this and I placed it on the easel, it would have glued the canvas to the easel. So I leave the bottom for last if I'm painting my edges. I would flip this over, paint that, and then I would just let it sit like that till that's dry. Now, I'm not going to do that today, but I am going to sign it. I want you guys to sign your masterpieces. Don't forget, send me pictures of your stuff. I'm just going to take any color. Most artists like to sign their paintings on a bottom corner. You can sign with your first name, your last name, your initials, your nickname, whatever you want. Some people like to sign at the top. Some people will sign in the back. But most artists will sign at the bottom corner, left or right somewhere. But there is that. We are through for today. Hopefully you guys all had a blast with me. I know I did. Please don't forget to send me pictures of your masterpieces. Okay, you guys can send those pictures over to Painting with Jesse. Go to the Facebook page under Painting with Jesse. Go over to Messenger, right? Actually, no. Yes, I think you can do it that way. If you went over to Painting with Jesse, go to Messenger and then click on Send a Message. Then you can attach your picture to that message and, of course, send those over to me. So I would greatly appreciate it if you guys took a picture with yourselves holding the paintings. That's a lot cooler for people to see. People like to, see people in the pictures. But if not, that's okay. You just want to send a picture of your painting. That's perfectly fine. If you're under 18, please do not send me any pictures without your parents' consent. Check with your parents first. As a matter of fact, let your parents send the picture, okay? That's a rule. No sending me pictures if you have not received permission from your parents, all right? If you guys are painting with a group, same thing. Hold your pictures up in your group. Take your picture and send those over to me. That would be fantastic. Like I said, what I'd like to do with those pictures, I'll take the bulk of those probably tomorrow morning. I'll put a post where I share all the paintings. Those of you that painted the gnomes with me a couple of days ago, I still have all those pictures. I have not shared the post on those yet. That's also coming tomorrow. Okay? But all right, guys, I'm going to hang out for just a couple of minutes here. Let's take a look at those comments. Jackie Kern says, thank you so much. Charlotte and I had lots of fun. You are very welcome, Jackie and Charlotte. I'm very thankful that you're here with me today. I hope you enjoy it and come on back. Do some more paintings with me. Daisy Cruz, thanks. We had so much fun. My pleasure, Daisy Cruz. And I definitely have to get me a different mic because it is too long and it's getting caught all over the place. Again, this was just a temporary solution to see how it would work. And I like it a lot better this way. So I am getting a different mic here pretty soon. Victoria Reed, you're very welcome. Bryce and Chase from Ohio say thank you, Bryce and Chase. My pleasure. Thanks to you for joining me today. Bye, Lisa Guarino. Bye-bye. All right, folks. Thank you so much. Let's see. Lena and Ella. Hi, Lena. Hi, Ella. Thank you again for being here. Let's see. Who else? A beach scene, Sue, says Aaron Beth. Yep, we'll be doing some beach scenes here coming pretty soon. Sienna. What's happening, Sienna? You're very welcome. Imogen. Had so much fun. 6-year-old Imogen. Hi, Imogen. Thank you, Guadalupe. Thank you so much. Shayla, you're very welcome. All right, everyone. So don't forget, please send me your pictures. Also, don't forget, there's lots of events coming up. If you go over to the event tab on the main Painting with Jesse page, you're going to see all the events that are coming up. Right now, there's only 2 more on the calendar. I will be adding more for this month. And then, of course, I'm going to be adding some for March. Every week, we're going to be having some stuff going forward. So please don't forget to like and follow the page so that you get the notifications when I post something new. Also, share the page with your friends, invite your family, all that good stuff. Everything you guys can do to help grow the page would be amazing. And then once again, for those of you that are interested in helping support the page, you can use my virtual tip jar. The information is right there at the bottom of the screen. It's also listed under the details on the description of this video. If you guys use Venmo or PayPal, you'll see my picture at the top. Okay, and then of course, Zelle is just my phone number, 951-217-2237. All right, everyone. Thank you guys all so very much for joining me today. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye now.